Good morning, everybody. Kind of quiet out there. Been quiet all week, market wise. Um, Almost like non movement at all. But things will start jiggling around here a bit. So always try to give a little lesson, uh, technical patterns and such on. So you got to really be careful with these really shallow retracements. Um, They're bullish, of course. The trend is up. You're so close to resistance here that this is exactly what happens. Now I know the Fed day, there's hesitancy doing what have you. But if something like this was happening down here, you see the moving averages are close together, where things are just starting to get going, it can work out. After it's been going up for a while and you have this kind of shallow, very shallow retracement, it really communicates that traders are becoming a little bit too bullish, comfortable with it. I mean, you have this support right here. But one of the ways that you can trade these, making them much more reliable, is if in that little shallow retracement, you get a dip and then flips back up again. It shows you that there are buyers, lurking below, and that, really increases the probability of getting through here rather than possibly getting a whipsaw where it just flips right back down again, because that resistance is so close by. Hopefully that helps. As we can see right now, prices are going to gap down a little bit. There's still 25 minutes to go, and we'll see where things are at. So I think it could just be quiet. Many times, on Fed day, you do get some kind of movement early on, and then things die down, of course. And then after 2 o'clock or so, things get a little wild again. And it's out there. It's a given. I think anybody that's paying attention at all is well aware that they're going to raise a quarter of a point. So it should be baked into whatever's going to happen. There'll still be that whipping around that occurs. And then when he starts to speak, everybody will be like, okay, what's he going to say? Is he going to stop? And, whatever's going to come out of his mouth, that'll move things around. So, and it'll probably be erratic. You decide if you want to place any trades, any day trades, of course, are always on the table. Short term, doing whatever you're going to do. But, this is almost at its destination. So even if it takes off to the upside, I don't think it's going to go up very much. And I don't think it'll go down a whole heck of a lot either. The question is whether, I think if it does going to go down, it'll go down through here. And then, we'll see, here's this minor support in the rising 20 MA. So I don't think any significant damage is going to be done either way, but we'll really be interested to see what happens in some of the sectors, especially like technology and semiconductors, the things that got beaten up a little bit more. And we'll, look at the Qs. And one of the things that we talked about in the green room yesterday was that while these stocks and some of the sectors that are in strong uptrends in this, this is somewhat of a reasonable pullback toward this unfilled gap here, and minor support area. These moves started with a gap down in a wide range bar. So it's like an igniting gap, and a big bar like that. Now in an uptrend, it could continue to move up. I've seen that happen, but this is look at the weekly chart. This is, been moving up. I heard them on what channel I have on CNBC. Sometimes I flip between them and Fox. And if I heard right, if anyone else was listening, he said, this is the longest run the NASDAQ has ever had. Now, longest run in meaning without any kind of a certain correction, because in my mind, and while I have to go and look at the chart, I just remember 1998, 1999 is just being a runaway train. And so maybe, when they say that kind of stuff, I guess they fact check themselves, but maybe percentage wise, without a certain correction, I'm not sure. But you can see look at the little topping tail there. It's got room. Maybe you could move up to 400 or so. But one of the things you want to pay attention to is notice the wide range bar on the weekly chart. Because if it breaks down below that, you've got a pretty reliable topping pattern in place. And you can see the major support down there where that little green area is. So something else to keep an eye on. S&P futures, just retesting the high. No biggie, momentum slowing down. Really just a lot of choppy action that's been going on. Now, SPX, if you want to do it early on, things have moved further out. None of the levels have been getting hit. Things haven't been moving. So now this morning, things have moved further out. And so these are pretty reasonable levels on most days, but there's no way I think you want to be holding on to this after he starts talking or the numbers come out, because things just start whipping around. And they're getting further away from the current price. What else is moving here? Transports, you see what they're doing. Momentum is slowing down, and it's just nothing much is happening as institutions are waiting to see what Powell's going to say. Momentum slowing down. It barely moved. This doesn't show anything. Boeing came out, it lifted the Dow a little bit. Now it's back down again. And that's gapping down below yesterday's low, but you really can't read too much into any of this because of the news. So that little bit of a gap down, not a big deal. And futures, just sold off. I guess this was the Boeing news, lifted it up toward resistance. And what that tells you is that people want to sell. You can see a little topping pattern up here. See those little 3 bars? I mean, the day is very, very young, but this poked up above the high, and there you go. And then here's support that we marked off yesterday. That held up. Things didn't move at all. No movement. Russell, no movement. It started off moving up and it whipped back down. It came back up again, and it just gyrated around. And let's just see here. Not KRE, is it KRE? Yeah, regional banks. So they've just been whipping around here. So watching, the regional banks and biotechs give you insights into, if regional banks and biotechs are moving up, it's a good that the Russell's going to be moving up and vice versa. ABI. I'll keep an eye on that. Wow, that just whipped back down again. It's been all over the place. Here, the semis, the way they came down, kind of flipping back up. You can see this gap up, gap down, and now nothingness. It's the same story wherever we look. Interest rates have been inching higher, was part of our discussion yesterday in coaching. We were looking at longer time frames, and interest rates are big wide range bar. We're looking at monthly charts. I'm not going to get into that. But they inched up, they're down here a little bit. Everybody's waiting. Volatility index just hanging down here, waiting. Of course, the 13-week is inching up. If this was going down, we'd be wondering, are they really going to raise quarter point? Well, this is saying, yeah, they're going to, like I think the percentage wise, if you look at that CME site, says 99%. So they're going to do it. Everybody knows they're going to do it. So let's get on with it. Oil down a little bit, but it's going higher. It looks like going higher. Bitcoin, we covered earlier in the week. That broke down. It's still in the bottom half of the wide range bar. So unless it can close above the high of that wide range bar, we assume this is going to go down. What else? There isn't much else to well, metals. They were breaking out. I mean, there's copper futures. They're not doing anything here, but XME broke out yesterday. I mean, it's near this prior pivot here, but with the proximity to the moving averages, we'll see, how things shape up here today. But that looks like it's going to go higher. And gold and copper. We'll see what gold does, but some of the copper stocks look pretty interesting here. And yesterday I mentioned gasoline. It looks like it may have hit a high point for the moment with that wide range bar that occurred yesterday, and now it's down a bit here. A lot of times after a run like that, you get a wide range bar and things begin to stall. But look at the void over here on the weekly chart. There should be buyers on pullback. So gasoline and oil continuing to move up. It'll be interesting to see how that plays into this inflation scenario. All yours, Dan. Pretty calm morning, and maybe going to be bored to death until 2 o'clock. We'll see.
Good morning. Yeah, we got a ton of earnings, other things moving. I noticed solar moving, they're all in unison, kind of like a reaction to some governmental comments. Maybe one of you know. So look at tan here, the sector. Gapping down 69, has room to fall. SPWR 930. Look at that gap into this prior low. Run 19. Now this one is actually a buy setup. So that one's interesting over a 30-minute high. I'm going to put that in a window. Yeah, Greg, I thought I did. Yeah, that was an error. Yeah, I didn't mean to show the whole screen there. Fizzler, another one. It's kind of the granddaddy of the sector. 195. So that one's not as bad. I like that run the best. Remember XPAD, Riven. Today's Wednesday. On Monday, a number of us were day trading that. Negative day yesterday, but now look, it's over yesterday's high. Incredible strength. Riven. I thought I saw it up. Let's put Riven on the watch list. All right, let's now go up here to earnings. The big old FANG stocks, Microsoft, 340. I was looking to short the 320 puts on that yesterday, but there's not enough juice. You can see it's stabilized here. I use my pre-market chart when it's liquid, like this. So this is totally stabilized here. So, as of now, they're finding buyers at 338. But I don't really know what to do with it. Yeah, Google, we were bullish yesterday. I was looking at selling puts here. That would have been a great directional if you would have bought calls. Visa, we sold a 230 $5 wide put spread. So even with this gapping against us a little bit, I have 99% confidence we're going to have a nice open game. Because it's gapping nowhere near our short strike and we got vol contraction. And that's why we do these. Raul asking about ASO still long. Yeah, we entered that yesterday over on Monday's high. So yep, we're in that. Texan 177.50. We actually had short 170 puts on this, but we took our money into strength. I don't see anything to do now. Charlie Bravo 202 and change, gap into the top of the range, no interest. CNI, we'll see. I see one print down here, but it's not liquid, so I just ignore it for now. Whiskey Mike getting whacked, but same. I just see one print here. And whenever you see one leader, I always just look at the Visa, MasterCards, Uber, Lyft, you know the drill. And so I'm always just looking at a competitor. So RSG is a competitor. That's actually a buy setup I've been watching. Let me put that back on my list. Looks great. So if this will not fall with Whiskey Mike falling, then that's relative strength, of course. I'm going to set an alarm at 154. CSGP gapping down 5. Again, no volume, but if it is gapping down here, then that's a topping pattern. We can sell a call spread. Snap, we actually did the put spread also, the 10, 8.5. Now that's a big old gap against us, still above the short strike. So I'm going to be looking to get out of this, break even or small profit, because I had no idea where this one's going to open up. Because yes, there's a fall contraction by definition because the event is out, but it's the delta being against us so much that is going to be worse than the vol contraction. Alex talking about the Volkswagen. Oh, okay. All right, thanks. Cough. No pattern, no gap. This just gives me a headache. That's what I call a headache pattern. Unless you could sell 35 puts, I have zero interest in a pattern like that because it's so unpredictable. Every day is just the opposite. EQT up and down on 39. That could be a day trade short, 30-minute low. See how it's gapping under Monday, Tuesday's consolidation. So that's a nice day trade short, provided it doesn't bounce too much. VIV ripping up here to 9. Weekly, monthly, I have a little bit more room, possibly to 10. We'll come back to that. Man H, I don't, it shows that it's up here $6, but I don't see any prints. But if it's not gapping up too much, this is a beautiful day trade long over yesterday's high with this two-day stabilization. No pattern. I'm going to delete you. Although if it is gapping down to 146, then that actually would be a nice 30-minute low short. R&R. I don't like the way it trades. RHI. Gap into 70. That's a big gap, but I call that an excessive one. So I'll be looking to see if buyers feel like stepping up at this prior low. Coke slopping around, no interest. Tomo did have a big gap down, but buyers bought the dip. Now 553. It's still a bearish gap under a green bar. So that could be a call spread candidate if it doesn't bounce much more. Boeing. I was looking to sell the 205s yesterday, but didn't have enough juice. That's a nice bullish gap. Look at this monthly, been going sideways here. It has room to 250. We'll watch that on a pullback. AT&T flat. It was up, now it's down. This could be a 30-minute low short if it can't bounce. The sell fed up daily. All right, this like it shows a print up here at 245. This could be 30-minute low candidate to sell a call spread as a gap and crap. Things that rally into earnings like this and then have a big old gap up. Typically short-term exhaustion. Diggs asking about AYY. All right, I don't know if that's a symbol or if just Diggs is saying hello. FI gapping down here, so that leaving all that as resistance, that would be a call spread candidate. I don't like the way this trades in ADR. CME opening flat, but it's extended, no pattern. On this Gulf Delta, remember we had a beautiful discussion yesterday in the green room of the strength of this in light of LH. Dude, I forgot. What's the other one that got killed? LHX. Yeah, now. One of those military stocks got killed the other day. And we were talking about this pattern, and I said, that's a beautiful pattern. Now it's gapping up. So I'm putting that on mine. No, it had a K in it. RTX. I just thought about Raytheon. Look how that thing got killed on earnings. So I'm going to put Gulf Delta in a chart thumbnail. I'm running out of charts here. Gulf Delta looks great for put spread. 30-minute high. Oh, I forgot to mention Tilray Dog is up on some news here up to $2. You know, this sector has just done nothing but disappoint. But who knows? Another ADR. I don't like ADRs gapping. APH. It's a sloppy buy setup. But I don't like buy setups this extended because under yesterday's low is actually a short for a measured move lower. Hess, you know, up a lot of the prior high, 30-minute low. Could be a call spread idea. This Maxwell McGraw told me is buying SEMO, and this is getting killed. So I put that on this middle chart right here. You know, see if buyers where they find value. O'Doffel will come back, no pattern. Hilton. It's good. See, it's gapping under this end of day base, but it's gapping down in a bullish daily. So I kind of favor 30-minute high put spread. This Otis, it's you know, big old flag. Look at this flag consolidation, flag pole. I see it down a little bit. I'm going to set an alarm at 87.70. So if it can negate this gap down, then I will be interested in it. FTV, topping pattern under yesterday's low. GIB is a bear 1, 2, 3. Gapping down to 101 and change. 30-minute low. Day trade short candidate. No pattern. RCI, I can't tell where you're gapping. SF, that's too extended for me. TDY, yesterday's high, I like, kind of a bottoming pattern. You know, 100% retracement. It's sloppy though, but put spread, $400 puts if there's any juice. UMC, no pattern, you're gone. And these are just miscellaneous things. LYB, I don't know if this is earnings, but if it's opening, I like this $90 puts if there's any juice. Yesterday's high. Igniting here. Oh, maybe I got those. Oh, I got those two off Sam Am's list. And Wicks here. Let me set an alarm 85, 60, 85, 50. It doesn't matter. Oh, I already did. All right, cool. Whiskey Mike. I said we'll look at the other. RHI. I think we looked at already. Look at what the heck happened on this yesterday. Man, gapping up 50% and then ripping to 39. Wow. WRNT, I just saw going by the ticker. And that looks like an IPO yesterday. Now it's gapping up here. We'll keep an eye on it. All right, I got through all those. Our other open trades, I don't have any alarms going off. So all of our inventory is fine. I see Netflix in the FANG department falling. Until Tesla down. Has room to fall as a day trade. NVIDIA holding steady on the 15, sideways, bullish. Hey, Sanjay. Oh, Meta has earnings after the bell. We sold puts on it yesterday. So, you know, we'll have a gain at the open, but the vol crush is not going to happen till tomorrow. All right, 1 minute to go here. These are just a couple from left from yesterday's watch list. CHW, little bull flag there. It has to get over yesterday's high. EMR strong. RSG, that's the one I mentioned. I'll be watching today with Whiskey Mike being down. MDT, I'll set a new alarm. Set a new alarm at 89. All right, I need to watch my two put spreads at the open. But you know, you got to give them a few minutes with the spreads. ENTG short watch down here. I have an alarm. Argold. Argold looks fantastic. I have an alarm at 123. 122. Yeah, so the alarm went off yesterday. All right, this MXL bouncing a little bit out of the gate. All right, so yeah, Snap and Visa are, I gotta manage Burrow. Little kind of cup and handle. I just don't like the target on Burrow. Remember yesterday we were watching HIB. HIB is still small little cup and handle. Run, I said, of these I liked. That one's getting buying at the open. Let me check puts on that.